sounded like a train. It was pretty rough. A lot of damage around the houses, but most of the houses, I think, did pretty good, shockingly.
Residents in the Tampa Bay area breathe a sigh of relief. There were not historic storm surges. Yet Hurricane Milton makes its mark on Central Florida just 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene hits northern Florida and heads up to the Carolinas. Emergency rescue workers find at least 14 dead in this most recent storm, which leaves billions of dollars behind in property damage and millions of homes and businesses without power. Welcome to EWTN News In Depth. I'm Catherine Hadro. Hurricane Milton had at one point strengthened to a top Category 5 hurricane, headed straight for Tampa with a killer storm surge. It came ashore on Wednesday night as a Cat 3. Though Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said it was not the worst case scenario, Milton still left a swath of destruction. Within hours, emergency search and rescue teams had pulled nearly 1,000 people from their homes and flooded neighborhoods. In the Tampa area, they were going door to door to check on trapped residents. In St. Petersburg, fierce winds ripped the fabric off of the roof of Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays baseball team. Power was knocked out for more than 3 million residents and may take weeks to restore. The storm's sustained winds of 125 miles per hour caused massive damage, blowing off roofs, crushing homes. Because of repeated recent weather disasters in Florida, many homeowners can no longer afford property insurance and may not be able to rebuild. The hurricane triggered a record 120 plus tornado warnings, the most ever in one day in Florida. On the east coast of Florida, this roof blew off of a church. The pastor vows to rebuild.
Our heart breaks for what's happening right now in our community and the people reeling. There's still hope in our world, and the community is here for you. You're not going through this alone.
Meteorologists say perhaps the most surprising aspect of Milton was the number and strength of tornadoes it spawned in central and southern Florida. Once the number of tornado touchdowns are confirmed by the Weather Service, Milton could go down as one of the most prolific tornado-producing hurricanes. Meanwhile, Florida's northern neighbors continue the long road to recovery after a devastating Hurricane Helene just 2 weeks ago. More than half of the 238 confirmed deaths occurred in North Carolina, where tens of thousands still remain without power and even running water. Search and rescue continues in mountainous regions, and state lawmakers have approved more than $200 million to support relief efforts. Catholic Charities USA is deeply involved in getting help to those impacted by the hurricanes. For the very latest on that, we are joined by Kim Burgo. She is Vice President for Disaster Operations at Catholic Charities USA. She has spent decades in disaster relief and is regarded by many as the preeminent disaster relief expert in the church today. Kim, thank you for joining us. I know you recently returned home after being on the road at these sites of the hurricane aftermath. We have had back-to-back hurricanes now slam the southeast region within 2 weeks' time. From your perspective, how has this hurricane season compared to those in recent years when it comes to the damage and scale?
Yeah, I mean, back-to-back hurricanes is always a challenge. The first one was very, very bad. I toured both the Tampa area and the Asheville, North Carolina area, and it was just absolutely devastating. And of course, to have the Tampa area get hit again by Milton is just horrible, and certainly a great loss again for the people who first suffered from Helene.
Absolutely. I can't imagine just the distress it places on the local community. Kim, what is Catholic Charities doing right now to provide the immediate relief to Floridians impacted by Hurricane Milton?
Yeah, so the baseline of relief is to make sure that people have food, water, shelter, and safety. And so people can't even expect to work towards their recovery unless they have those items. And so that is what our Catholic Charities agencies in Florida are working on now, making sure that they have adequate shelter, that they have food, that they have the immediate needs, that they do feel safe, that they have water. So this is done through distribution sites that are set up throughout the state. We do have a large warehouse in the middle of the state of Florida that is actively sending supplies to our Catholic Charities agencies as they need them, and they are being distributed to the community rapidly.
these basic needs for survival. But Kim, we also know that people will need assistance, yes, in the immediate hurricane aftermath, but there are lasting long-term impacts when families lose their homes and belongings. So how will Catholic Charities continue to walk alongside these families amid devastation from Hurricane Milton?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, certainly, the rest of America may not see the news anymore about the devastation from these hurricanes, but I guarantee you that these hurricanes, for the families that it affected, will last up to 5 years. And that's something that Catholic Charities is very proud of. We are in the community for the life of the community. And so therefore, putting to practice our own Catholic social teachings of solidarity. We work and walk with clients till the time that they feel that they're safe, self-sustainable again. So that's done through case management services. It's done through information and referral services, and the whole host of services that are available by Catholic Charities on a sunny day.
Kim, keeping our eye on the Tampa Bay area, which was hit by these back-to-back hurricanes. Earlier this year, we reported on the opening of Hope Cottages at the Tampa Hope Homeless Shelter, launched by Catholic Charities in the Diocese of St. Petersburg. These innovative cottage homes for people who are homeless. Do you know, Kim, how did these cottages withstand the storm? And how is Catholic Charities specifically attending to the needs of people who are homeless at this time?
Yeah, that's also a great question. So I've been working very closely with the executive director there in Tampa. She, of course, is an expert at this. And so she quickly evacuated all the residents of the homeless shelters that are part of Catholic Charities of St. Petersburg and got them into a safe space. I do know that the Tampa Hope facility is up and operational again with no problems. The other shelters are being assessed for safety, and hope that we can get residents back in there as well. But it did survive the storm, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely. No, that's great to hear. Looking back now on Hurricane Helene, can you give us an update? What is Catholic Charities doing to continue to assist those hardest hit from Hurricane Helene 2 weeks ago, specifically in North Carolina and in eastern Tennessee?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, food, water, shelter, and safety is the basis of everything that we do at First. And so there are distribution sites set up in Tennessee and in North Carolina and in Florida and in Charleston, South Carolina, and I believe Georgia. They're all across these areas that were hardest hit by Helene. And they are providing the immediate services right now, and will transition into the longer-term disaster case management services as they move forward. But certainly it's ever evolving. I can tell you, just literally, I came back yesterday afternoon, and in the night before, I was looking at cadaver dogs that were still searching for bodies. So this is still a very active, ongoing disaster. You're looking at rescuing people or recovering people at this point. It's very, very sensitive. And so this isn't a quick fix.
No,
by far.
Not at all. Oh, my goodness. Kim, we have just under a minute left, but I do want to ask you, there's been a lot of chatter this week about hurricane relief misinformation. From your perspective, have you noticed an uptick in the spread of misinformation, and has that been a hurdle to providing people help and assistance?
Well, I don't know whether it's been an uptick. I think that misinformation exists in every disaster. It doesn't matter whether it was 2020 or 2024. Misinformation is always out there. And that's because people become confused during the time of a disaster. And so they might not hear things correctly, and they might share that information with their neighbor. I would highly recommend that if you are hearing something that isn't quite right, go to the source. Really look at trying to verify from the source what is the correct information. And that has to do with contractors, that has to do with emergency management, whatever it may be. Don't be duped by misinformation, but always check out with a reliable source.
That is a great reminder. Kim Burgo, thank you for your work on the front lines. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you can support the hurricane relief effort by making a donation. Go to CatholicCharitiesUSA.org to learn more.